Welcome to the Supreme Influence Show, the space to embody your infinite potential and fulfill your highest destiny. Hi, I'm Niurka, and I'm inspired to bring you this amazing episode. Welcome to the Supreme Influence Show, the space to embody your infinite potential and fulfill your highest destiny. Hi, I'm Niurka, and I'm so deeply inspired to be here with you. I have such enthusiasm in my heart that has inspired me to create this show for you, to bring you the most profound, meaningful conversations that can make a real difference in your life so that you create and live your most magnificent life, the life that you deserve. This show is all about inspiring and empowering you to be inspired, be prosperous, be happy even more in all areas of your life. And we're recording it right now. Today is Easter 2020, and there's no accident about this day because this is a day of new beginnings and rebirth, which we're going to be talking about in a moment. Also, we're navigating this unprecedented time in history with the global pandemic of COVID-19. So this specific show is going to give you so many tools and resources to empower you in all aspects of your life as we navigate through what's going on in our world today. This is an awesome new way for you and I to really connect and to share. And I will be sharing profound conversations with brilliant minds, some of my dearest friends. For example, I just had a show that we recorded with my dear friend Damien Lichtenstein, who is a Hollywood producer and director and a digital maverick and the creator of movies like 3,000 Miles to Graceland and Discover the Gift, which I'm blessed to be featured in, along with other thought leaders and luminaries like the Dalai Lama, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Sir Ken Robinson, Jack Canfield, and others. And it inspired me to have this conversation with Damien and to bring conversations like this to you because I remember a time where he and I were doing a tour through Germany, Switzerland, and Austria with Discover the Gift, the movie. And we had this train ride through Switzerland, and it was like this 5-hour train ride. And we had this riveting, stimulating, profound conversation about the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. That was the topic. And I thought to myself in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, we should be recording this conversation. The world needs to hear this conversation. And I can't tell you how many times I've felt that way in different contexts, with different friends, experts, mentors, where I've had these moments and I thought, I want to share this with the world. Well, now we're doing this right here with you right now with the show. The conversations are no longer going to be only in the Akashic records and in my heart. They're going to be here, right here with you on the Supreme Influence Show. And Damien is an example of one of the upcoming guests in a future episode. And he was introduced to me by my dear friend, Michael Beckwith, who is also a guest in a future episode. So I'm inspired to bring you these brilliant minds, these brilliant conversations, these inspiring stories, like the story with my dear friend Greg Reed, who you'll be meeting on one of the upcoming episodes, who is the millionaire mentor. And Greg is one of the most brilliant connectors I have ever met in my entire life. I mean, this man is masterful in connecting with some of the most powerful people on the planet and developing collaborative relationships and projects. And he's a master storyteller. He's going to be sharing stories on our episode that are really going to touch you. He shares this one story about a gorilla that is a metaphor for how important it is for us right now in this time to be willing to let go of old ways of thinking and being and innovate and step into new ways to reinvent ourselves and recreate our businesses and our lives. So these are examples of friends of mine that you're going to meet where you're going to receive profound nuggets of wisdom. For example, in our conversation with Michael Beckwith, who I mentioned a moment ago, where he's going to talk about spiritual liberation, which is one of the core keys to the topics that we will bring to you on this show, how to live and walk the path of liberation, where you can live freely, powerfully, purposefully, mightily, in every area of your life. And we have fun with it also. There's going to have a lot of fun on this show. Michael and I will share how we first met, where we were both invited to speak on a Caribbean cruise. And we gelled in this moment. And my presentation literally rode on the waves of his presentation. And we'll share stories like that, and also timeless wisdom that will empower you in breaking out of any old paradigms and creating your most magnificent life by design. On our show, you're going to also receive profound yet simple daily practices and rituals that will inspire greater joy, greater fulfillment, greater success in your life. For example, you're going to experience inner sizes, which is a word that's coined by my dear friend John Asseroff, who is our first special guest on episode 2. John is a serial entrepreneur, and he's a mindset and behavioral expert. And in our episode, he reveals how to unlock the hidden power of our brain. He shares the difference between what he calls the Frankenstein brain and the Einstein brain. And he gives us, which I love, specific practices. I love tools. I love practices. You're going to be getting tools and practices on our show on how you can really come into clear, calm states of thinking and being. For example, he shares one particular practice that he calls Take 6 to calm the circuits, so that you think clearly and take intelligent action for the greatest results and the greatest fulfillment. You'll also be tuning into timely and relevant conversations, such as my conversation with my dear friend Paul Zane-Pilzer, who's a world-leading macroeconomist and an expert on the recovery and rebuild of our economies post-COVID-19. So if you've been wondering what's going to happen with the US, Canadian, world economies, you don't want to miss this episode. It's going to give you profound insights. This is a man who is called upon by world leaders, presidents, CEOs of companies to give them insights on world economics. Another timely conversation that is relevant right now is episode 10 with Joni Patri, who's one of the world's most renowned Vedic astrologers who gives us specific predictions for 2020 and beyond. So you might be wondering, wow, that's a pretty fascinating lineup. What in the world do a serial entrepreneur, a world-renowned macroeconomist, a Vedic astrologer, a spiritual leader, a mindset and behavioral expert, a millionaire mentor, what do all these people have in common? And that's an awesome question. What they have all in common is they're all my dear friends, and they're all bringing wisdom specifically to you through our Supreme Influence show. And they bring different angles. They bring different perspectives across many fields, both secular and spiritual. And the benefit of this is to deepen your understanding and self-mastery. And it's not just about conversations with my brilliant friends. You're also going to receive specific tools, insights, strategies, and some of my signature teachings, like my teaching on the power of questions and my teaching on the power of gratitude. You'll experience field trips into my live classrooms where you'll have a chance and an opportunity to catch glimpses of me leading live transformational exercises on the spot, in action, on stage. And you're going to have a chance to experience that on this show, where you'll see and learn about topics like NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which really understands the science of how our language affects our nervous system and what makes people do what they do. We're going to learn about hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, communication mastery, neuroscience. We're going to bring in all of these different bodies of work to create the most profound transformational and empowerment experience for you. And when you witness these, it's like I put people on the hot seat. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, the hot seat. It's like where somebody's going to be coached or mentored, and others are going to have an opportunity to observe and watch. This is the ultimate hot seat for transformation, where you're going to experience people coming and bringing some of the biggest challenges that have blocked them in their life. their greatest fears or anxieties, and you're going to have an opportunity to see firsthand how we guide a transformational process that allows that individual to gather insights, learnings, new distinctions that cause old patterns to naturally dissolve in light of new awareness, in light of new understanding. And you're going to catch that glimpse right here and so much more. The purpose of this show is to empower you to be even more inspired, even more prosperous, even more happy in every area of your life, so that you consciously create your most magnificent life, a life by design, a life that serves you, serves others, serves the planet, and is fun, okay? You have fun being it. You have fun living it. You have fun doing it. So how are we going to accomplish this? We're going to accomplish this by bringing you research, okay, that sparks understanding. Conversations. The quality of our lives mirrors the quality of our conversations. It's about elevating the conversation. That's what's going to happen right here together. We're going to bring you tools, techniques, strategies, rituals, daily practices, all designed to align your three brains. What do I mean by that? Align your head, align your heart, align your gut, so that you come into supreme alignment. I call it supreme influence. You come into coherence, you come into oneness. And this brings you the power to create by design rather than react by default. So with this body of work, this community, this conversation, we will embody our infinite potential and fulfill our highest destiny. That's what this is about. And if you're wondering, what in the world does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to embody infinite potential? What does it mean to fulfill highest destiny? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you what that means. And it's important for us to tune in to the deeper meaning of words. I actually wrote about this in my book, Supreme Influence. I have a whole section of the book called Understanding. And within that section, there's a chapter called The Deeper Meaning of Words. So as we really tune in to the deeper meaning of words, and by the way, that's going to be one of the topics on our show, communication mastery. That's one of the keys that we'll be focusing on consistently, and the awesome power of our communication to shape our reality. So fulfilling our highest destiny, what does that presuppose? That presupposes embodying the highest expression of who we really are in our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, based on what's authentically most important to us. That's the key. Knowing and tuning in what's most important to you authentically at the deepest level. So fulfilling our highest destiny presupposes and brings up a question: highest according to whom? You know, I remember when I was a little girl, that was one of my favorite questions. According to who? Who says who? Says you. This is not according to anybody else's idea. This is according to you. So I want to be 100% clear that when I'm talking about fulfilling your highest destiny, this is the highest standard based on your authentic self and what's authentically most important to you. This is not about what other people say, the way others people think that you should or should not be living your life. That's not what we're talking about here. Got it? We're talking about being clear. Clear in who I am, clear in who you are, clear in purpose. What is my purpose? Who am I? What is my purpose? Why am I here? And how will I fulfill my ultimate destiny? This clarity becomes the foundation of all of your creations. And in our episodes, we're going to be giving you insights that are going to support you in becoming even more clear, even more empowered than ever before. And this is so important because we have a higher destiny and we have a lower destiny. And the one that you experience reflects where you place your focus and your attention. The lower destiny is filled with dense vibrations like stress, anxiety, fear, worry, overwhelm, doubt, guilt, shame, insecurity, not enoughness. Are you with me? Okay, those are examples of the frequencies of dense vibrations, which is what we are transcending here on the Supreme Influence Show. We're transcending the density and coming into the light. This is about coming into the light, the enlightenment, the enthusiasm, the essence, the source that is your existence. So we're raising out of the lower frequencies into the higher vibrations, which are vibrations that are filled with gratitude, love, and enthusiasm, inspiration, joy, creativity, all of these vibrations that are available to us in every moment, regardless of what is happening. Freedom, liberation, the higher vibrations. So your highest destiny is weaved in the fabric of these higher vibrations, which is why it's important to have practices to cultivate them on a daily basis, which you will be receiving through our conversations right here on the Supreme Influence Show, because it's designed to elevate the vibe, to elevate our vibe and all of our creations. That's what this is about. That's why I created this show. And a story and an example of this, which you're going to hear, is on one of the episodes with Akila Sherrills. Akila and I had this deep conversation years ago in my living room, and we're going to share it on one of the upcoming episodes. And he is an individual who has transcended so much adversity. And he has, through his own alchemical process, come into a place of healing and now is a global advocate for peace. This is the guy who literally brokered, negotiated the truce between the two rival gangs, the Bloods and the Crips. And his story will move you so deeply about the power that each one of us has, regardless of the adversities that we've experienced and the pains that we felt, to heal pain, to tune in and choose love, even in the midst of the greatest atrocities, to choose love, to transform ourselves, our lives, our families, and to uplift and raise our community. Stories like Akila's, teachings like Michael's, these will light you up, okay? It's gonna be lit up to embody your infinite potential. That's what this is about. And really think about this. Your potential for joy, your potential for creativity, your potential for love, success, contribution, these are infinite. And that's awesome to realize that, isn't it? That the potential you have for love and joy and success and fulfillment and creativity is infinite? Really? That's awesome. So as we embody our highest potential, as I embody my highest potential, as you embody your highest potential, based on what's authentically most important to us, and as we each do this, which is the purpose of this show, why I'm inspiring you to share this with everybody, because as each one of us lives in the fullness of this spark, we create a field of possibility for all of us to fulfill our highest destiny. This is a sneak peek into the vision of what's inspired this show's birth and creation. Embody potential, fulfill highest destiny. Now, we can all have different definitions or a general understanding of what each of these words mean. And of course, we could all go to the dictionary and kind of look them up and get the proper etymology and the proper, definition and interpretation. But the question here is, what do they really mean as we're putting them together here in the context of this conversation? And what do they mean as we incorporate these energies, the frequencies that these words represent moving forward in our lives? Well, that's what this mission is about. It's specifically about expanding our horizons, to becoming even more present to what's available to us and to richen our perspectives by connecting with the stories of these outstanding individuals and these teachings from all walks of life. See, this vision, this creation of this show is about increasing your awareness, clearing your minds. And I'm saying that plural for a purpose. Your minds, right? Conscious mind, subconscious mind, coming into place of clarity, healing the heart. Healing the heart so you can live with an open heart and expanding our understanding of who we are and what is really possible for us. That's what this is about. And the intention here is simple, is to bring you the Supreme Influence Show, the space to embody your infinite potential and fulfill your highest destiny. Embody according to you, potential according to you, highest according to you, destiny according to you. What does that mean for you? Your highest destiny. So you bring even greater harmony, even greater joy, even greater peace into our world through your contribution. And that this is sparked through our reflection and through our conversations right here. That's the purpose of this. Our outcome is to wake up and have everyone on the planet be present to the gift of choice, the gift of free will, the gift and the power we each have to reinvent ourselves, to recreate, to embody new ways of thinking and being, to celebrate life with joy and harmony, to experience ultimate peace, tranquility, serenity that comes from living life with a sense of faith, a sense of knowingness that who we are at the core is blessed and is guided, to become even more aware and even more available to the infinite possibilities that are all around us, and to live a fulfilled life where we feel on purpose, not busy. When people ask me that question, oh, you're busy? I don't like being busy. Who wants to be busy? Where we're on purpose. We live on purpose every day, experiencing in each moment the frequencies of our highest destiny. So this show, the Supreme Influence Show, which is created for you, will give you and empower you in all areas. Spiritual connection, your life's purpose, your dharma, deepening your relationships strategically, and that's the key, strategically scaling your business in a way that works for you, that is meaningful for you, enhancing your joy and your well-being, energizing your health and your vitality, enriching your wealth and your abundance, and anything else that you choose. This show reveals an alchemical process, a process of transforming, a process of transmuting anything in your life that may have felt like lead, anything that may have felt dense or dark or heavy or burdensome. This show gives you tools and techniques to transform into gold. This is an ancient formula that will be revealed during our time together. And why it's coming out on Apple iTunes on Easter is because Easter is symbolic of spring, of rebirth, of new beginnings. It's actually an ancient fertility festival. And many people don't know this because they're mostly tuned in to the Christian tradition and the resurrection, which is also the power of this day, the power of resurrecting, of recreating, of renewal. So in our community, we call this Neo-Genesis. Neo is new, Genesis is beginnings. And I've created a course around this profound process of transformation and creating fresh new starts. So get ready to dive deeply with me and others in our community and the world. Let's dive deep and explore new ways to consciously create, to innovate, to evolve, to transform, to metamorphosize, to play, to share, to contribute, and to become an even more joyous and enlightened expression of who we really are at the core. So you have a lot of options on how to subscribe to our show. You can listen via audio on Apple Podcast, which is formerly iTunes. You can also listen on Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Alexa, Podcast Addict. We got to go help those people. We're going to give them some support on the addiction. Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Notes, Overcast, Podcast. We're everywhere. Everywhere there's podcasts, go check it out because there's where we are. You can also see it on my blog, Instagram TV, and also on our YouTube channels. And please make sure to subscribe, to like, to download all the episodes, to give us a 5-star rating, and to share, because the quality of the conversations that we have shapes the quality of our lives. And this is about raising the conversation to a whole other level that allows us to then raise how we create our experience of reality, and to create it in a more loving way, compassionate way, sustainable way. So I am deeply honored to be on this epic journey together with you in embodying our infinite potential and fulfilling our highest destiny. So I will see you on our next episode, where we're going to be tuning in to how to unlock the hidden power of our brain with my dear friend, John Asseroff. I am so excited to share this with you and to be with you right here, right now on our show. So much love. Namaste, which is a Sanskrit greeting, which means the spirit within me, the essence within me, sees, honors, and recognizes the spirit within you. Lots of love.